What's going on, everybody? It's GC3 here, back with another video. This time, we're doing a little DIY. Now, how I told you on my last video with 3-minute warning figures, I do, um, I do also a lot of woodworking. I've done a lot of DIY projects around my house that I haven't shown y'all. Yes, I do a lot of figures, and I do a lot of everything else. But um, I wanted to show y'all an idea that I had, um, that we had this small space, um, at my house. And what I wanted to do was something a little different. I just didn't want to put blocks on it and just buy something from Walmart that they have. I wanted to do a little DIY project, and I wanted to build it for my wife. You might see in the picture, few pictures here, that yes, I have a big um, gazebo area, but it's called a balapa, 3 gazebos in one. But I wanted to build one for my wife, so this is how I did it. I wanted to do something like this. Y'all see how this looks, but I don't know, it looks too plain for me. But this was my concept for the little square space that I have. And here's another idea that I was looking at. I was going through Google, uh, trying to see what I can find, or an idea that I can pop in my head, because I also wanted a concrete, but then I also wanted a deck, a wooden area, where I can lift it off the ground, because my backyard does kind of flood just a little bit, but not bad. But this is what I was thinking of. And then I also wanted to do a railing. Now, but then I wanted to do maybe like have a white picket fence surrounding it. Because how I was also asking my wife, hey babe, what would you prefer? Do you want something like this? Do you want something like that? And she was telling me that, I remember her telling me that she always wanted a white picket fence for something. So I thought of it. You know what? Why don't I just put a white picket fence for a railing to make it look more ranch style and to fit to her liking? And so it began. What I wanted to do first was maybe do a pallet flooring. I am not a carpenter. I've never done this before. I just got my ideas from YouTube, Google, and some of the patios that I've seen. And I wanted to do a pallet patio. And what I had done is I went to a gravel yard where they sell rock. I paid $65 for, I don't know, 2 yards, 2 or 3 yards. So it was just enough. Put it down. I try to flatten it as great as possible. The pallets, some of them are broken, as you see. That's because of my weight. I accidentally broke it, and then having my kids walk on it and try to get them off, and I broke another one over there to the left hand side. So I had put some 2x4s. I connected them with some brackets there, and I actually had it on the east side, west side, and south side connected, and then I got my 4x4 posts. Now, as y'all see here, this was I was gonna go for, and I was gonna put my not the my pallets, my flooring. I'm sorry, on top of it. Well, as you see, it doesn't exactly look level. And then I put my 4x4 posts in, and for what I've been told, that 4x posts are not really good to use, because then in time they do tend to twist on you. And it did. Two of them actually one of them I had to replace, which is the one on the southwest corner, that one that you see by itself, not along the wall. I actually had to replace that 4x4 post. That took a while to get out. I actually bought a small jack, a 1 ton. Then I bought a 3 ton, and that I finally got it out. And that was a pain in the butt. And then I had that, what's it called? That fake foam cement. You shake it in a bag. Guys, let me tell you, don't use that stuff, because it got on my face, it got on my glasses. I even had a small goatee. It ripped some of the hairs out. Don't do that, please. I beg y'all. Y'all are really asking for it. But I actually had to go get some cement. I should have done that before. That was my fault. Um, I dug a 3 foot hole, um, and then I poured the cement within a few hours. It was hard enough to work with. So as you see right here, I actually had it sat there. It sat there for about a month or almost 2 months. I didn't have the time to work on it. I was hesitant to work on it because I wanted to hire somebody. I've never done this type of stuff before. Um, I was getting people to try to help me out. Of course, no one could help me. Y'all know how that goes. You try to ask for help, and they want to be they rather be a critic than actually lend a hand. But I figured out how to do it. My wife just gave me a little bit of motivation, I guess you can say, and I actually like doing this stuff, but I wanted to do it right because I wanted it to last forever. And then, as much as I thought about it, well, my pallets got messed up. I let it set too long, and I actually put a water sealant on my pallets, okay, so they can last. Well, with the rain and the humidity here in South Texas, um, it ruined the pallets. So I actually had to get rid of the pallets. And then I was talking to a friend of mine who actually told me that the pallets are not a really good thing to use to actually put a two by four flooring going from east to west all the way across and actually box in your whole entire frame, as you see right there. So that's what I did. I actually put two by fours alongside and kind of do like a little tic tac toe pattern. I don't know exactly what it's called, but and it worked. And then what I had also done was I put some boards up on the top to actually hold the frame and for any weather or anything like that. And I screwed the heck out of it. But yeah, here's that tic tac toe pattern I was telling you about. And I also I put some bricks underneath from Home Depot, and I raised it up, the actual frame. I put a 9 inch frame in the back, and I put 8.5 on the north side, the northwest, and then the southeast side, corner to corner. And then I also put a 8 inch in the opposite corner, the very south end corner. Um, Now y'all are probably saying, well, why would you do that? If it rains, any water gets on the actual flooring, it can just all flow to one end. It'll flow from the high side all to the low side. Of course, you don't want to get no water, but that's what that's for, just in case y'all are curious on why I did that. But that frame up on top was for also I put some rafters going from the north to the south side. I put 8 foot 2x4s, and you know some people do leave the roof like that, but over time you want it to be covered. If you want to be outside, if you want to put a fan in there, I would highly suggest that you cover it, and that's what I wanted to do. I was going to put tin on it, but then my wife was saying, well, why don't you just put a regular roof with shingles? um, and I was kind of already, hesitant about that because I've never done an actual roof before. And what I had done to attach it is I used these brackets. I guess you just slide in the 2x4 into it, and it just connects to your actual your house. Now, of course, you better look for those support boards, because if you don't, you're gonna be screwed into just the regular support board that's there. Luckily for me, they actually had two support boards going into the house where my rafters were, so I had no issues there. And I just took another picture so that way I can get a head that telling myself and showing my family that it's already coming together. Because guys, I am not no carpenter. I've never done this before. I actually had a buddy of mine help me. He's used to have a contract business, so he helped me put the rafters up. That's probably the only help that I had. Well, besides my wife painting. Other than that, this is all by myself, guys. It was very, very tricky. I was very hesitant on doing this, but you saw my thumbnail. It turned out really, really nice, and the furniture and everything else. But the frame was up. It was a little bit of a humid day, and on my days off from work, I would work on it. And man, I'm a dad. I'm about 50 pounds overweight. Oh yeah, I definitely lost some inches. Where I live in South Texas is extremely humid, and as you see right there, I actually put little well, I keep can't calling everything brackets, which they are brackets. These brackets, I actually have a twist on them, and they actually connect to the actual big support board that's there into the 2x4. You see that? And those were actually the best thing to connect it to your rafters, and they were pretty strong. I actually hung on it, and I'm about 280. Oh yeah, they were pretty strong support boards, especially with those brackets being in. This, guys, was the actual scary part. Okay, um, this is when I started to do my roof. I had put the my ceiling up, my plywood. I can't think of the word. I bought 6 sheets of plywood, 3 on for my roof and 3 for my flooring, and I just put them up. That was real hard in itself. I'm pretty strong, but being so hot, it was like 102 degrees, super hot, no wind, no nothing, not even a cloud in the sky. Well, just there, as you see right there. But that was super hard to get them up there. And I've never done this before. I've never done a roof. I actually tried to look for somebody uh, down the street where they're building a new subdivision, and I asked the guy to see if he can, come help me. And hey, I'll pay him, whatever. I actually asked his boss, which is a big no-no from what I've been told. You actually have to ask the guy yourself. Um, and he never called me. I waited an hour, never called me. I waited after lunch, he never called me. I waited the next day, he never called me. So I said, you know what, the heck with this. I'm gonna do it myself. And what I had done is I looked on YouTube on laying your roofing paper down and starter shingles. Now, I could have just used regular shingles, but the starter shingles, they actually have that glue, and they're actually for this. And of course, you have to stick it just a small, maybe like, I don't know, an inch out, so that way the water doesn't go underneath your your actual shingle itself, and your drip edge. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of what it was called. Um, that way your shingle kind of sticks out just a little bit, so that way it doesn't kind of go underneath your drip edge, to help to prevent the water from going back in. But these are the starter shingles that I used, and I got some roofing nails, and then I actually got some. And I got about 12 foot. This is what it's called, step flashing, and I cut pieces, and I overlapped it, as you see, uh, going down to prevent the water from getting in there. And I put starter shingles going all the way up till you see where it goes up to my drip edge on actually connecting to my house. But I got this step flashing, and it actually helped out really quite a bit. It wasn't very hard to do that, and starting my roof, that was actually the scary part, because if you mess up on a roof, you mess up doing your shingles, you're screwed, and you're gonna have to do your whole roof over again, and that sucks. Know what you're doing. Look it up on YouTube. It's not that difficult. For me, I was scared. I have never done it before, and how I told y'all before, I wanted to do it right, and I wanted it to last forever. And I got 30-year shingles, um, and you just there's a few videos on YouTube how to start your shingles. there's a guy that I actually had watched. He actually helped me out a lot, and how to start your starter shingles and how to start your roofing. Um, and what I'll do is I'll put I'll take a screenshot. That way y'all can see the guy that I used. His title to his videos are "Your Average Roofer," on how to start your shingles, uh, how to do it properly, so to speak. And when you're doing your shingle, to actually uh, don't do it on the far edge. Do it where some shingles actually have a white chalk line to where you lay your nail, and that actually helped me out so much because I was hoping when I bought these shingles that they actually had that, and they did. And when you start your roofing, you do it as steps. You just start it, and you just keep going up like stairs. It's a five stair uh, process or something like that. I can't think of what it's actually called, but and it worked out real nice. And what I had done on the very top where it connects to my house, I actually cut uh, just where my white line of the on my shingle is, there where it has that chalk. I just cut just above it, still leaving it on there, and I had slid it underneath, and it's still showing some of the chalk, and I had nailed it, boom, 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 and I had covered it with some tar adhesive to cover your nails. Or and I got that at Home Depot. It cost like, I don't know, $8. I bought like 2 3 tubes, um, and I used about, actually it took me about 3 tubes. But where y'all see, this is the finished product, by the way, and yeah, it looks pretty badass. Excuse my language, but I did a damn good job. Um, but where it connects, where that drip edge where my actual house is to connect it to the patio, I put about 3 tubes, and it started leaking on the first one, and then we had some rain. I had to wait till it dried and this and that, till the rain dried. I'm sorry, and I put 3 tubes, and now, guys, it does not leak. And y'all better make sure that it doesn't. If, let's just say, if y'all even want to do something like this, because this is the biggest project that I have ever done, and I'm not even, I told y'all before, I am not a carpenter. Um, if y'all get any water at all, guys, y'all are screwed. You'll have to do your roofing all over again, and that's something that y'all want to do. And I was showing friends of mine that, hey, look, I just did a roof, and they were asking me questions and this and that, blah blah blah, and they actually saw the finished patio, and what y'all are gonna see, they hear it in a little while. And I was hoping, please, I was keeping my fingers crossed and just saying to myself, please don't ask me to do you one, because it was so hard, and I don't feel like doing it. And and that's just me being the way I am, I guess. And I showed my dad. I showed some friends of mine. Well, actually, friends of mine who are in their 50s and 60s, um, people who I've looked up to, and they're like, man, they're pretty impressed. And my daddy was so proud. And yeah, my wife was proud of me too. But yeah, this is the finished product, guys. And then I started doing the flooring. I put my plywood on. Um, that wasn't really very hard. That was pretty easy to do. But where I had my two 4x4 posts, the north and south side, I actually had to cut slits and try to slide it in there without cutting any extra holes or breaking or splitting my plywood. Um, but it wasn't that difficult. But I actually was able to finish my flooring pretty quickly. Um, and of course, I just drilled it into my 2x4s on the bottom, and tied it all in. And then y'all see there, there's my flooring there. I fitted in perfectly. I had to cut a few pieces off to fit on the south end, that 4x4 post that y'all see right there. Um, I had to fit it in. Had to cut some pieces so it can all be flush, but it all worked out real nice. And as y'all see, I'm already starting to do the railing. I got some more 2x4s. I connected it to my 4x4 post. I connected a 2x4, an additional 2x4 for the entrance. And what I wanted to do, what y'all see that arch there? Well, that's actually me and my wife's wedding arch where we got married underneath. And I wanted to incorporate that with this patio. I had it planned for the longest time. I had it all drawn out and written out, and that was my idea. I wanted that for our entrance, and for the railing on the flooring. You'll probably how did I do those 1 inch pieces? Well, what I had done is I cut a 2x4 in half, and I cut it in half, connected to the furthest out. I guess y'all, if y'all can understand that. And I drilled it into the floor, cut it in half, and it all worked out real nice. And then I put a 6-foot long piece on the other side, and I put a support board in the middle so that way it doesn't bow over time. Um, and how y'all see in the back, that's actually my big gazebo, or we call it the palapa, because when we bought the house, it was 3 gazebos in one. And that's why we bought it. And this is finished. The finished product. I did the pickets. I actually had to cut them in half, and I did the flooring. I did everything, the roof. Everything turned out real nice. Yeah, the pickets. They weren't actually that hard to do. Besides cutting them in half, and I actually ran out of pickets, but luckily I had some old fence boards that I just tweaked a little bit. And of course, with paint and a water stain, they will last forever. If they lasted already, I don't know, 30, 40 years, where I actually got them from, and they're still in good shape. I just reused them. No biggie. But everything turned out real nice. And this part right here, guys, now, I actually had to add a 2x4 and um, and also small pieces of the far end you see right there on the north end. I actually had to add a piece because this I can't even talk. This piece of plywood was maybe about a foot, maybe a foot and a half sticking out, and over time it's gonna warp, and you're just gonna have to cut it off, and it's gonna mess up a whole side of your roofing. So what I had did is I added a 2x4. Yes, there's a bunch of nails where I had done my shingles, but I fitted it in there perfectly without having to cut any nails. And I got some 90-degree angle brackets where it's short one end and longer on the other. And I got some pallet screws where they don't go all the way through the pallet, maybe about midway, and they worked out nicely. That worked out so good, a lot better than what I thought. And I bought some more angle brackets at the far end for that little, I don't know, 6-inch piece 2x4 right there. And I just connected it to the already existing 2x4 rafter that was there on the right hand side that you see. And it worked out real nice. So that way over time it's not gonna warp, and I won't even have to worry about it anymore. But I was able to fit that board in again, how I said, without cutting any nails at all. And on this picture, I did the same thing on the south end, and I actually had to cut 2 pieces because one of them was a little bit too short. But I got these brackets where I can connect the 2x4s together, and of course I did it on the other end also. There's a piece right there that you're seeing, but I did one on the other end, so that way there's no worries. It's all connected, it's all secure. I even stood on it, and how I told y'all, I'm about 280 pounds. I'm about 6'1". I'm a big dude. There's dudes bigger than me, but yeah, if it could hold my weight, it would be fine. And I got those. I got screws, not exactly with a Phillips head. I got them with a hex head. Guys, let me tell you, a hex head screws are so much better than actual Phillips head screws. The Phillips head screws, shred your drill bit, and then they just mess it up. The hex heads are so much better. I think I'm gonna start getting hex heads, drill screws, because those just work really really nicely, and they have a lot more grip with your drill. Um, but again, I was able to fit the boards here perfectly without cutting any nails. That was what I was so worried about, and I put some wood glue also, um, and they are not going to go anywhere. This thing is really, really secure. Like I said, I was really worried that it was going to warp, but not anymore. And so here I started. I bought a paint sprayer. That was hard. Uh, if you're going to do this by brush, again, you're screwed. I was lucky enough. I thought about it, and I bought a paint sprayer, a universal paint sprayer. I got it from Home Depot. It's great. I love it. It's fantastic. What took all this? Maybe it took me about 2 hours to do the pickets, the flooring, the ceiling, the outside pickets. Um, There's just a different shot. I painted it all white. Yes, it looks a little bit dirty, but of course I put another coat on it, and I put a stain on it also, so that way it doesn't, um, you know, I guess get affected by the rain. Um, the rain down here in South Texas is just it comes and goes as it pleases, and it's annoying. But yeah, I bought a paint sprayer because again, I wanted to hire somebody to paint it for me because I did not know what to do. Well, of course, everyone knows how to paint. It's not hard, but it's just the process, and it just takes a lot of time. And I had a lot to do. It may not look like it, but gosh, guys, I was already tired and exhausted. I did the roof. I did the roof on 102-degree weather, no air, no shade, no nothing. I did the flooring. I put everything up myself, and I just wanted to take a break. But again, my wife, the saint that she is, man, she went to town, guys. She started spraying this thing, boom, back and forth. And there's a little switch on it. We had to turn it up and down or horizontal or vertical. She was going like not even following the pattern. It's like, babe, it's going side to side, not up and down. It was funny, but she was going to town, man. She was really helping me out. And of course, I bought her a brand new water hose right there. There's the arch, and everything looks so nice. Everything looks really, really nice. So I was asking my wife if she wanted, curtains, which what that was my general idea, and I was thinking of how to do the rods or what's the easier way. Maybe get like a cord and run it across, or make your own, I guess, wall hangers, which was the next idea that I had, and I actually wanted to paint them. I was painting the electrical conduit. That's what it's called. We had some spare conduit in our boneyard at work. So I just used the extras that were thrown away and I bent them back. That weren't going to be used anyways. And I just used that and I sprayed it a little bit black with a little bit of bronze. I cut it a 6-foot piece and a 8-foot piece. And on the south end there, as you see, I got Walmart uh, rod hangers, um, and they cost me about $8. I bought two of them. Of course, they come with two pieces, um, and I was able to adjust. There's a little screw on it that you see. They adjust to however you want it, and they came in black. I was gonna get silver, but my wife didn't want silver, so I was doing that. That was a little bit tricky because those actually kind of adjust on where the actual where it holds the piece of tubing. It actually adjusts in and out. That was a little tricky, but I managed to get that. And I wanted to do it on the south end, not the whole south end, just half of it. So I got a 6-foot piece, actually about 4 foot. It's actually almost. It's actually 4.5 feet on the south end, and on the west end is a 8 foot piece. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to cover the west end for the sun, of course, and then the south end, just in case we have neighbors. Which eventually, this subdivision that you see behind us, there's a big open spot. That's going to be a new subdivision, but we were able to get the curtains. We went to Walmart and we got some blue and white outdoor curtains, and they look really really nice, as you see right here. And of course, there's my wife with my daughter. But the curtains, uh, and they worked out real nice. I have maybe like a foot, maybe 2 foot piece to where it's not covered, but that's what she wanted, so that's what I did for her. Oh, these are my kids. We were getting the carpet, and they were all excited, I guess, because it was finally going to get furniture in the patio. And this is my wife's egg chair. She really wanted an egg chair. She really wanted a swinging one, but the dimensions, it was going to be way too big, way too tall for the actual patio itself. And it was just take a lot of room. So I got her a stationary chair. And that's what you see here. I was putting it all together one night. I was on night shift and I was still up and at 'em. I was already on my days off actually, and I was putting it all together. So again, I got a stationary chair. I got a good price on it. Walmart, by the way. Walmart, man, they're really stepping up their game, guys. I'm telling you. But I was able to get her stationary egg chair, and then the next day, there's my wife enjoying it, sitting on it. Um, and it came with that little table that you see. Wait, no, that's not it. That table actually came with this, and yes, that's me. There's my big self. Man, I look horrible, but there's me in my shades. But we got this furniture in from Walmart again. Walmart, okay. These chairs swivel and they actually rock back and forth. But we didn't even get them for a week, guys. And the chair that I'm sitting on, now some of y'all probably saying because I'm a big dude and I'm overweight and whatever else, the chair bent, and my wife's on it and it bent on her. Now, and those are the chairs. There's without me on it. The We were thinking that because of the angle that the patio is sitting at, and these chairs are actually sitting up on false metal brackets that they sit on, and that's the reason why that they bent. So I had to return everything, and we wound up getting my mother-in-law's rocking chairs, which y'all see there. Of course, there's not a really good shot of them, but they're just as great. They've been there at their house for years. They didn't want them anymore, so my father-in-law gave them to us, and I got my wife a floor mat. There it is. There's the floor mat. The wedding arch has her water hose, and this is how she wants it. Oh, and I put some brackets. I mean, actually, floral hanger brackets. I'm sorry, because my wife wants flowers to hang. So I got her that too from Amazon, by the way. I bought 4 of them for $15. Um, but we got the chairs, we got the tables. We got a fan. I don't know if you see the fan there up in the corner. I'll put a little arrow there for y'all. But I got that from Northerner. I paid $100 for it. It was actually 150. So it works. And I put that up there. She ever wants to turn it on. It's got 3 speeds. Um, and I just need to run the wire to the outlet, whatever outlet that she wants closest for her. However, um, this is the finished patio. That was, like, again, this is the hardest project I've ever done. I'm never going to do anything this big. Um, yeah, my neighbor came and saw it, both my neighbors. Um, my family, my wife was real proud of me. Of course, my kids can't stay off of it. It's getting on my nerves. Um, and um, it survived the ultimate test. Now, the ultimate test, I live in South Texas. Hurricane Hannah came just a few days, actually a week and a half now, and it survived. Me and my wife were so worried about it. I was thinking that my shingles came off on my roof. By the way, I put all the furniture up. I laid it all down. I was just putting it all back, but I forgot to put the cushion there on the egg chairs, which y'all see. Everything made it. Everything. Uh, Nothing happened. Yeah, my neighbors were amazed that I'm not even a carpenter and this survived. I mean, it's like the inside got a little wet, of course, but hey, everything lasted. Everything is still there. Everything's in great shape. Uh, Pat on the back for myself, guys. Like I said, I do custom figures, custom repaints. I do a lot of wood DIY projects at the house. I'm gonna start posting that also. I'm gonna also start maybe doing a few dinosaur repaints again. But this is my biggest project that I wanted to show my subscribers out there and future subscribers that I do a lot of different stuff, not just figures. I'm a real handyman. I like doing that type of stuff. I'm always trying to find the next project to do. But guys, I appreciate it. I've been wanting to show y'all this for the longest time. All of my family and my wife and friends of mine were telling me that I need to post this onto my channel that way everybody can see. And I wanted to do this for my wife. Um, she likes to read. She likes to have her own private time, but she doesn't really have a place to do it. So again, I wanted to do this for her to show that, hey, I love her. I'm gonna give you what you want, and to the best of my ability. And this is her own spot. She even tells her friends and her family, my patio, my patio. My husband made a patio for me, which is funny and cute, by the way. But yeah, I wanted to do this for her. Again, guys, I'm not a carpenter. I just wanted to see if I could do this, and I did this for her. But this is her own spot, her own area. Guys, thank y'all so much again. Stay tuned for the next video, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace.